Assalamu alaikum.
And welcome to episode 16 of Iftar Insights Inside Edition.
Alhamdulillah, this has been a most wonderful, rewarding and amazing learning experience for the both of us, as I hope that it has been for you as well. We've also been reflecting of late on the similarities between last year's lessons learned and the lessons learned so far in this year's series, and we found that just like last year when we visited different masjids across Trinidad and Tobago and found that every masjid had their unique way of observing iftar and traditions, etc. leading up to the iftar, we've also found that to be true at the family and household level. Every family over the last 15 episodes, and including today's episode as well, as you will see, all of these families have very unique ways of approaching the iftar and their worship leading up to the iftar, as well as overall their worship during the month of Ramadan and how they approach the month of Ramadan altogether.
So today our presenter is a brother who is well known within the Muslim community. He is known for his good character, he is known for his good manners, and he was once the UAE Islamic Society president. He was a part of the Islamic Youth Leadership Program, and he is a member of IDM, the Islamic Dawah movement. So if you think you know who we are talking about, yes, we are talking about this very meticulous brother who is going to take us through today's proceedings. We only have to introduce him.
Yeah.
He has taken care of everything in this episode. Today we are going to meet with brother Amir Mohammed, Sha Allah.
Brother Amir is as great, as wonderful a brother, a Muslim, as he is a humanitarian. Once there is a cause that is good enough, he finds the time to lend his time or to give his time to that cause, and that is also one of the contributing factors as to why he is giving his time today to Iftar Insights Inside Edition episode 16. That's it for us. Thank you in advance, brother Amir, for making our job very easy today, inshallah, and it's now over to you and your family for today's presentation of the series.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our home. My name is Amir and I live here with my mom, my sister, her husband, my nephews. Today, inshallah, we want to share a little bit with you about our Ramadan experience and our traditions. So what I want to share with you today, inshallah, is Ramadan in our very early years as children and as a young family. Ramadan as it evolved over the years for us, and Ramadan in particular this year, and a small message to go along with it. My mom and dad, they got married in 1978, was it?
Yes.
1978, and not long after that, actually in 1986, a few days after my dad returned from Hajj, he passed away. And my older sister was 6, I was only 5, my younger brother was 5 months old. So this was Allah's plan for us, and this defined, many aspects of our lives until today. For us as young children, perhaps, we may not have felt it then, but my mom certainly would have had a very massive burden on her, and she would have displayed tremendous levels of patience and hard work and sacrifice. So I want to ask mom, how, as a single mom with 3 young children, how did you manage in a Ramadan back in those days?
In those days for me it was Assalamu alaikum. In those days for me it was a bit challenging with the 3 children after working shift at the hospital, and I knew I was coming home to work another shift with the children. So at times I felt overwhelming, sad and lonely, but I knew Allah was there for us. I used to make dua and ask Him to give me the strength and health and patience. As for the month of Ramadan, we used to venture down in the in the family's residence at Mohammed, where we used to have iftar and dinner with the families. And we had great support from the immediate family and the extended family. And the children enjoyed themselves, and we were most welcome. After having the Iftari and dinner, we came home. They did their home lessons with a little licks in between, and they went to bed early because the next morning we had to get up and fast. So I encouraged them to fast at least for a half day or a whole day. If it was too difficult or if they were hungry, I used to give them a cup of milk, which they tolerated until the evening of breaking the fast.
Right. So if you had to tell another single mother with young children some advice, what would you say?
As a single mother, I would tell them to hold on to their Islam, be near to Allah. Remember, Allah says, remember Him, and I'll remember you. And put all your trust and faith in Allah. Talk to your children, listen to them, advise them, nurture them. Give them a little hug, you know. None of them don't mind. I didn't used to get a chance to do it because I was so busy up and down with them. And always keep close to Allah. He is there for us. We need Him. He doesn't need us. And I am grateful to Allah and thankful to Allah that He gave me blessed, righteous, loving, respectable children. And they are holding on to the path of Islam.
Yeah, I didn't prompt that, just to let you know. So let's talk Ramadan tradition. So a few episodes ago, one of my cousins, Khalil, and his wife Jenna, they did a lovely episode on Iftar Insights. And Khalil mentioned a large family gathering of 50 to 60 people every day. We used to be there as well in those same gatherings when we were younger. And as we started to grow older, we started to have Iftar home, and that kind of became our tradition. We would still go by my families every so often, but we remained home. We had Iftar together. We would have a simple one, pre-Maghrib, then dinner, then off to the Masjid for Tarawih, which is pretty standard for most families. This year is a different Ramadan, and I always say that Ramadan has three components. Our activities has three components: a personal component, a family component, and a community component. And this year we have no community component because of the restrictions that we have. So we have to focus on ourselves and our family. And I always say adversity, like the one that we have now, it brings about opportunity and creativity. So this year, this year's plan, we have tried to do some things different as a family. And because this year is also a little different for us, because it is the second year running that my younger brother isn't with us, as he passed away in 2018 from cancer. So some of the life and some of the joy that we always share around suhoor and iftar, by Allah's plan, is not there. But we use this opportunity, we use these circumstances that may feel sad to spur us on to excel in Ramadan and to really try to please Allah and do better in His eyes, with the hope that we can reunite with those that we love and to be better in the sight of Allah. For me personally, usually my Ramadan is very busy. Other than my personal activities and goals that I try to achieve, I normally help some Jamaat, I normally help some organizations, doing some small talks and lectures and khutbahs and helping to lead some Tarawih. So I've been able to do some of that still, alhamdulillah, through technology and to be able to do some of those things remotely. And with this year, our family, with these restrictions, we've decided to do a few things together, and in particular around a theme. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed over 6,000 verses in Quran, and in only one of them He mentions Ramadan. And in this verse, in verse 185 of Surah Baqarah, He says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran." He says, Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. In our community, we so often associate Ramadan with fasting. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose something to associate Ramadan with, He chose Quran. And then later on in the verse He says, whoever witnesses Ramadan, then let him fast. So Ramadan is a month in which we really have to honor the Quran. We really have to improve our relationship with the Quran. And in a cultural sense in our community, we focus a lot on reading the Arabic of the Quran very much and as much as we could, which is good, alhamdulillah. But the message of the Quran is what changes the hearts of men. The message of the Quran is what brings about success. And so in Ramadan, we have to focus on trying to connect to the message of the Quran and not just read as much Arabic as we could. And so as a family, we have been trying to do a few things, and I want to share some of them with you. Perhaps they may be useful to you as well. So one thing that we have decided to do is that we selected 30 short passages of the Quran, about 3 or 4 verses, and each morning after Fajr we take some turns and each person reads this short passage and the rest of us listen. Okay, so this morning we're reading from Quran, Surah Ibrahim, chapter 14, verses 31 to 34.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Say, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to Ibadah, my slave who have believed that they should perform as-salah, iqamah as-salah, and spend in charity out of the sustenance we have given them, secretly and openly, before the coming of a day on which there will be neither mutual bargaining nor befriending.
Allah is He who has created the heavens and the earth, and sends down water from the sky, and thereby brought forth fruits as provisions for you. And He has made the ships to be of service to you, that He may sail through the sea by His command. And He has made rivers also to be of service to you.
And He has made the sun and the moon both constantly pursuing their course to be of service to you. And He has made the night and the day to be of service to you.
And He gave you all of that you asked for. And if you count the blessings of Allah, never will you be able to count them. Verily, man is indeed an extreme wrongdoer, a disbeliever, an extreme ingrate, denies Allah's blessing by disbelief, and by worshipping others besides Allah, and by disobeying Allah and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
We also we spend time reflecting on some of the meanings of some of the surahs, and to do this we use some online resources of some YouTube channels. So every day we sit around the living room behind us, with YouTube on the TV, and we look up 10-15 minutes short explanations of a particular surah. Okay, so today we are doing Suratul Jumu'ah.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين ثم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Everyone, let's try and get to know Surah Al-Jumu'ah, the 62nd surah of the Quran. This incredible surah is just 11 ayat. It's very, very small, and it's part of the Musabbihat series in which Allah declares His perfection in the beginning, and then says something about humanity. And this surah is very, very deep and very beautiful, and it's got some really interesting, unique qualities. For instance, the first ayah of the surah mentions 4 names of Allah as opposed to a typical standard.
We also, every day, we have decided to try to memorize some Quran so we can leave Ramadan knowing a little bit more of Quran. So we have decided, we chose a particular surah, and every day we try to memorize a little bit and help each other as far as we could get. Alright, so we're reciting together verses 6 to 8, Sha Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير. We also have some neighbors that are from Venezuela, and my mom made friends with one of them, and so we got a Spanish copy of the Quran that we are going to give to her, also as a way to honor the Quran in this month of Ramadan. And so we've been doing many other things together. We have set congregational times for prayer at home, so we meet those times, and we have helped poor families together with some hampers, and of course the children. The children will be children. They will always play, they will always want to do these things. And so with the help of my sister-in-law Sarah, we have done some things to help to involve the children. So we have a Ramadan chart. She did a Ramadan deeds table, and we try to involve the children as well so they can become excited and be involved in the activities of Ramadan as well.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Salman's mommy, Sarah, and every year I try to make, one of the many things I do to make Ramadan interesting for Salman is I make these Ramadan countdowns for him. But this year I did it a bit different. I included good deeds for Ramadan. So if you look closely, every day he has to complete 4 tasks. Out of these 4 tasks, 3 are repeated daily. These are Hifz, Qaida, and Dua for everyone. And there's an extra chore for him to do. So you can see the different chores here. For every 5 days completed, he gets a gigantic wow sticker. And for every day completed, he gets $5. He's pretty excited about that. It is a really good idea to do this with your children. It encourages them to do the good deeds, to become accustomed to it. And it also makes ibadah fun for them.
So these are just some of the things that we wanted to share with you today, and we hope that by Allah's mercy, that Allah will accept these efforts and deeds from us and make it a means for us to attain Jannah by His mercy. And we hope by Allah's mercy that we can reunite with those members of our family that have gone and left us. We want to encourage all of you watching, to use the opportunity that we have in Ramadan, to use this adversity to breed opportunity and creativity in your own homes, in your own family, and in your own selves, and come up with ways. Maybe you can use some of the things we suggested. That's no problem. We can share it with you. You can comment on the video, and we'll share the verses of Quran, for example, with you that we have decided to go through on our own. But come up with ways that you think you can involve your family in Ramadan activities. It doesn't have to be Quran. It can be charity. It can be prayer, whatever it might be. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all your efforts. We ask Allah to accept all your deeds and all your sacrifices. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you and your family a beautiful Ramadan. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept your fast and deeds and grant you Jannah. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, so this is the part of the kitchen where we normally get our iftar from. We normally have fruits from this tray, except for the cucumber. They're just ready there to take up space. And we have water as our normal iftar. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, so we're frying some wontons today. So that's part of iftar, Sha Allah. But normally, we just have fruits and dates as much as possible. Okay, so now it's iftar time, and let me show you what we have for today. Inshallah, we have some last minute entrance to the iftar plate. So we have some popo, we have wontons, I showed you that before, a date, and we have this guy, which is gulgula, or banana fritter, and then we have some pine here. So now it's iftar time. The boys have their iftar plates. You all ready to break fast? You all break fast already? Okay. Alright, so bismillah, we're breaking fast now. Assalamu alaikum.
I take them too.
Okay, so this is tonight's dinner. Good old Trini barbecue. Leftovers from yesterday, actually, courtesy of our good friend Khadija. So you have some barbecue chicken, some fried rice, some macaroni pie, and some mashed potato. And that is dinner, folks. Inshallah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah and Jazakallah khair to Brother Amir, his mom, and the rest of the family for so graciously and warmly inviting us into their homes and sharing all of those insightful ideas that they are putting into use to better serve them and to help them to better maximize on this month of Ramadan 2020, inshallah. So I hope that if any one of us is inspired to to take a page, to borrow a page from their book, that Amir and his family will reap the rewards from that action and from that inspiration, inshallah. That being said, we've come to the end of today's presentation of the show. Thanks again to Amir and family, and thank you for viewing. Special thanks to Ryan, who provided us with these treats that we are going to have for dessert after we have dinner tonight, inshallah. Thank you for the sugarcane, and thank you for the delicious calabash mangoes as well. Thank you for viewing, and God willing, inshallah, tomorrow join us for another presentation of Iftar Insights Inside Edition. We will be journeying to Cuba. If you've ever dreamed of heading to Havana, tomorrow join us for Iftar Insights Inside Edition. We will take you there digitally, at least. Till then, bye bye for now, and assalamu alaikum.